Not control a Jamaican man. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley Delore. I talk about everything long distance. I am a long distance wife living in Houston, Texas, while my husband is 1,338 miles away in Jamaica, and we are navigating this long distance marriage. We have been together for 3 years. If you want a little backstory on how we met, you can find the story here and watch it as you please. But tonight we're gonna get in and talk about what we argue about and how we fix it. So I do want to give you a disclaimer. I am not an expert. I am not a therapist. I am not social worker, anything like that. I am only a wife who has been navigating this long distance life. I'm here to share my personal story so that it may help someone out there who may be looking for this same advice. If you and your partner are having the same argument over and over again and you don't understand why, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 5 things that my husband and I argue about the most in our long distance relationship and how we actually fix it. And I'm not talking about any theory experiment. We are actually living this. I'm in Houston, he's in Jamaica. We're 1,338 miles apart. So everything I'm sharing with you is real. Grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, popcorn, and let's get into it. Before I get into this video, this is not about the blame game. It's about patterns. Because honestly, in a long distance relationship, it's not always what you think you're arguing about. And I want to show you that. Also, if your relationship has disrespect, control, or anything that feels unsafe, please take that seriously. This video is specifically for normal conflict in a relationship where it's healthy and 2 people actually love each other but are struggling with the distance. So the first one is the really most common one that I see a lot, and it's communication. Did y'all know I was gonna say that? It's the most common one I see, where one person wants more communication, want more phone calls, more check-in, while the other person feels like they're being monitored or pressured. And what happens is he gets quiet for hours and then you're over there sitting building scenarios in your head. What's really going on is not that he doesn't care. You just need reassurance. You want to feel like you're a priority, and he wants to feel like he's not being watched. What has helped us is by building a minimum connection plan. We don't need to be on the phone 24 hours a day. We give each other breathing room. We say our good mornings in the morning. We definitely say our good nights at night, but we also have check-in times throughout the day. We would check and see, baby, is this a good time? Can I call you? Can you talk? Things of that nature. That's our baseline. And we also have a heads up. If someone is going to be unavailable, we let them know. For instance, my husband is a promoter. So right now he's in promoter role where he is going to be busy and he's going to have meetings. I respect that. I know we have that communication, and he tells me ahead of time, baby, I have a meeting on day at this time. So it's just that boundary that we already have set, that we know that that person is not ignoring me. They're taking care of business. And vice versa. When I'm working or I'm doing content, preferably on a Saturday, my husband will text me and say, baby, is this a good time to call? Are you still doing content? How are you doing? We do that check-in so that there's no room for error. One rule has stopped so many arguments between us. If you're the one who's always anxious, instead of saying, you never call me, try this instead. I'm not mad that you're busy. I'm just a little anxious because I miss you. We pick a time that we can connect today. That's it. That's all you have to say. The second one, text tone. Oh my god, this one used to get us so bad, and honestly it still does a little bit. You send something normal and he reads his, you have an attitude, and then he responds with a one word and you're like, hold up, excuse me? And then this whole situation that is not even a situation has started from a tone in a text. Does that make sense? And I'm guilty of it sometimes. I do little quick, sometimes I don't even know what I'm texting. I voice record or I voice note it, and Siri does whatever she wants to do when she's saying whatever she gotta say. And I don't even know until I read and like, that's not what I meant. The thing is, over text, you lose everything. You lose the tone, you lose the facial expression, you lose the warmth. So a joke may feel like it was coming off as an attitude or rude or a short response. So that joke becomes an insult. And then now a short response because it becomes a whole situation. Our rule is no hard conversations via text. We're going to talk about them in person or we do a voice note. And if it's too emotional, we allow each other time to relax and come back after the emotions are down so we can have a normal conversation. When something is wrong, the repair is simple. I'm guilty of this all the time. I have to ask, I think I read that wrong. What did you mean by that? It's okay for you to ask those questions. I don't want you to escalate it. I want you to just ask those questions so you know. And then on those days where I'm not in the mood, I'll let him know, babe, today is not a good day. I'm not feeling it. And vice versa. He does the same. And of course, we ask, is there anything that I can do to make you feel better? No, it's just a day. And I'm going to give you one example. When it's the time of my mom's anniversary of her death or my sister's anniversary of her death, weeks leading up to that, I am not myself. And sometimes he can pick up on it and he's like, he understands without me having to tell him. But sometimes you just have to let that person know, I'm feeling anxious today. I'm feeling a little not myself today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to go take a walk, or I feel as if. And another thing is, my husband knows this. I have this thing when my hair is not done or my nails are not done, I am not okay. I just don't feel myself. And he'll tell me, baby, go get your hair done so you can feel better. I appreciate that for him. So those are boundaries that you and your partner need to work on and make sure that you have that understanding. It's okay to say, I need some time. I need a few hours. I need a few minutes. Let me get right so I can be right for the both of us. That actually changes the whole conversation before an argument even comes about. Number 3, and this is a big one: trust, jealousy, and social media anxiety. Now, this one is not really one that pertains mainly to us just because we don't have these issues. I'm saying this for the sake of if you're dealing with this. So say that you're online or you get offline and your partner posts something and somebody's under his comments with heart eyes or whatever, and now you're in your feelings. You are going to that person's profile, looking at their friends. We've all been guilty of doing that once or twice. Checking to see who everybody is and what's their relationship, and then you build up this scenario in your head. But let me tell you, that is a fear that you have that you may be replaced. That is fear of betrayal. Fear that the distance between you guys will allow him to be with someone else. What actually helps? You have to look at it and see what trust looks like for you specifically. What trust looks like specifically for you in your relationship. There needs to be a conversation about crossing boundaries. Don't assume, don't get defensive when I come ask you a question about who this person is. You need to be able to be honest. And here's something that I really want us ladies to do. When we're feeling insecure and we're interrogating our partner, we need to take a step back and think, what is triggering this interrogation? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel that he would betray me or feel like he would leave me? And if you really feel like you need that reassurance, it's better to say, just for reassurance, can you tell me who this person is, instead of saying, who's that, why that. It's a difference on how you come and have a conversation with your person. Because remember, from the first one, we don't want them to feel like we're parenting, watching them, monitoring them, all of that. So all of that plays into a part. When you are feeling like you need reassurance, definitely don't come accusing them. Who is that? Why this person this? What? Don't do it. The thing I want you to hear is reassurance is healthy. Surveillance is not. Going to social media for answers instead of your partner, you need to fix it. That's the problem to fix. Number 4, visits. Because you think seeing that person is the easy part, but it's not. You didn't plan anything. Why are we spending all this time with your family? Why are we already fighting and I just got here? What's happening is the pressure of limited time. You feel like you have to do everything in this one visit. You have a week together and then you both have different ideas. For example, we have this little disagreement. When I come to Jamaica, sometimes I want to just relax. Sometimes I want to do things. And my husband will get me so excited. Oh, we're going to go here. And then when I get there, we maybe do one or two things. So my feelings are hurt. It's like, We planned this, and then now we're in an argument because I wanted to do this, and I don't know when the next time I'll be back, if it's going to be raining or whatever. We had to have that conversation where we were able to talk to each other and say, hey, not every time we'll be able to do everything. And then in my head, I had to stop making that expectation that we were going to be able to do everything that I wanted to do. Sometimes we just needed to relax. Now what we do is, before I even get there, we decide this is what we're going to do. We may or may not be able to do everything, and we should be okay if we can't do everything. And then my expectations is not as much as it was before, because I know that we're probably not going to get to it, but it's okay if we plan it but not put effort into it, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm a planner type of girl, so if it goes on my calendar, we're doing it. If we booked it, we're doing it. So we gotta just get together and say, we're gonna try to make this, and we're gonna try to do this, because we actually want to spend time together. We don't want to spend it with everybody because of the distance. This is our time. We also talk about money before I travel. Who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for that? That is such an important conversation, because if you go in with the expectation that your spouse or your partner is going to take care of everything, but then they're looking for you to take everything, it's not going to work like that. You have to have that conversation ahead of time. I'm coming with X amount of money. I hope you got the rest. This is what we're gonna do, and then move however you need to move. Like, because I definitely want to have an upfront conversation about money before I get there, then have resentment when I'm there or after the trip, because those conversations were not had. The first 24 hours, we give each other grace. I am jet lagged every single time I get there. I am jet lagged from the plane ride to the drive to the house to walking up the hill to doing all of that. I'm tired. So my husband gives me grace. He cooks for me, or we pick up something to eat, but most likely 98% of the time I have food cooked at the house. I take a shower and I'm done. Check on me the next day because I'm exhausted. And then normally I don't sleep the night before I leave. So I'm exhausted, very much exhausted. And the last one, and this goes really deep, is how you handle conflict. Because one person wants to talk about it immediately and the other person shuts down. And the tone becomes the fight. And then you're really not even arguing about what the original argument about, you're arguing now. A lot of this is culture and how you were raised. My husband and I, we definitely had to learn that we have two different meanings of what respect and disagreements look like. What changed that for us is a time out rule. Not a I need space, leave me alone. We don't do that, because that just adds more anxiety, especially if you just abruptly in the conversation and I don't know when you're going to call back. Anything could happen. So it causes more anxiety. This is a big one. We also have a one fight rule at a time, meaning that what's bothering you now should be the conversation now, not what bothered you last week and then you want to bring it into this conversation now. We're not doing that. If it bothered you last week, we should have talked about it last week. Right now, we're on this argument. I do not like it when someone brings up something from the past and say, oh, well, since we're talking about it, let me tell you what you did 2 years ago. Why you didn't tell me that 2 years ago? We're in a whole nother place right now. We need to talk about that now. So we make sure that whatever we're arguing about, it's what we're arguing about or disagreeing about at that moment. Not what you did last night, not what you did yesterday, not what you did when we first met. No, we're not doing that. And the language that we use is actually, when you said this, you made me feel this way. Next time, can you say this so I can feel this way? That's it. That's all you need to say. That's it. And then that person can decide if they want to accept what you offered or not. Yes, baby, I can work on it. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings when I said that. I can be more gentle. Those are the only responses that you should be able to take. So this is the part that I actually really like, because this is what changed for us. Because this changed everything for us. After a disagreement, here's exactly what we do. We don't send long paragraph texts while we're still upset. We just don't do it. I used to do it, but we don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. So just stop. And one of us sends a soft opener. And I'm not gonna lie, it's always my husband sending, I love you. I don't want to fight with you. I want us to be good. And then that's the white flag. Then we each answered, what are two things that hurt us that you said? And then we answer them. And then, what do you need the next time? Not what did you do wrong and I need this. We're not doing that. Then we make one agreement. I'll do better the next time. Something real. If you're going to be unavailable, just let me know. And then we end up with something warm. We end up laughing because he's going to make me laugh even when he's trying not to make me laugh. And then we end the night by saying good night and I love you. And then always try to say thank you for even listening to me and understanding me, because you never know what that little conversation make that person feel. They can feel heard. They can feel like they understand me. They can feel like I'm acknowledged. Most long distance relationship arguments are really not arguments. They're about something much more deeper, which is the connection, because you don't get to see that person every day. So you're going to pick things to little fight about because you don't get to be with that person. So you're missing that physical connection. And it's also about feeling chosen from far away. Once we understood that, everything shifted. So those are the five: communication, text tone, trust, visits and conflict style, and the repair system that ties it all together. I want to know which one hits home for you the most. Drop it in the comments. Is it communication? Is it text misunderstanding? Is it conflict? Is it social media trust, anxiety, jealousy, visits, or just how you handle conflict? And if you want me to do a video on our monthly check-in questions that we have in our marriage, comment check-in and I'll make sure I do that in the next video. All right, until next time, bye.